Chapter 9. 180. Farron stunned everyone with his kick. Is this guy crazy? He actually dared to hit Carson. Is he tired of living? Everyone looked at Farron like they would a fool. They were all confused and shocked at the same time. This time, even Zev was dumbfounded. He looked at Farron in complete disbelief. Even Samantha was surprised to see such a scene unfold before her. She looked at Farron in a daze, as if she had seen a ghost. Even Conan, who had just gotten up, looked horrified. Even after knowing Carson's identity, this guy still dared to beat him. Surely that was as good as suicide. Xylon on the side was shocked and shouted, "This madman is asking for trouble." In an instant, a wave of spiritual pressure erupted from his body, sweeping through the hall and suffocating everyone. Xylon's body was burning with spiritual flames, and he had already rushed up to Farron. Forming a claw with one hand, he grabbed at Farron's face in a vicious swing. Farron did not know any martial arts at all, and he was only a cultivator of the lowest level, at the beginner aura level. Faced with a much more powerful cultivator like Xylon, there was no way he could fight back. However, he did not move and just stood quietly beside Wilbur. Everyone witnessing the scene exclaimed in shock. If Xylon took action, that guy would be as good as dead. However, in the next instant, a scene that shocked everyone to their core unfolded right before their very eyes. Wilbur leapt into the air and made a sweeping kick to meet Xylon's attack. Despite the powerful force Xylon put in behind the attack, the bones in his entire arm were shattered from that attack alone. The kick broke Xylon's arm and then landed on his chest with a loud thud. Xylon screamed and flew backward, slamming into the screen on the stage, and was then embedded into the wall behind it, coughing up blood. There was silence. Everyone looked at Wilbur with shock and horror. That was the top guy of Skyville, the #1 master, and he was seriously injured by this young man's kick. That was too exaggerated, wasn't it? At this time, Zev's face finally showed a look of horror. They knew exactly how powerful Xylon was. He was an ambience-level cultivator. Xylon was also Zev's business partner and bodyguard. He was the person who helped him carry out the dirty work. The two of them had been working together for many years. Xylon had never failed and was a powerful individual who had Zev's complete trust. However, he was seriously injured from just a kick. Zev was overwhelmed with shock and fear at the sight. It was obvious that they all underestimated Wilbur. This guy was the real master. Something was wrong. Carson finally got up with the help of his secretary. He pointed at Farron and said angrily, "Boy, you are looking for death." "That is right, boss. Call the special agents over and take care of them. They are trying to start a rebellion." Samantha was frightened and yelled loudly. Xylon was seriously injured, which dampened her spirit. Now they could only rely on Carson's status as an official to deal with these madmen. Zev also said, "You are too presumptuous to beat up a government official." Carson was already in a state of rage. What he had to do was add fuel to the fire and stoke Carson's burning rage. "Call the special agents team. Ask them to surround this place and take down all these people," Carson shouted. His assistant had a sullen face and immediately started making phone calls. It was rather unbelievable for their leader to be beaten up. Nancy looked at Wilbur with a hint of worry. "It is okay." Wilbur patted her head and said with a smile. Right then, Farron took out his ID, hung it on his chest, and came up to Carson. "Do you recognize this ID?" Farron asked calmly.